Okay, we're back. We're back, people. It's time for your astrological forecast. Very
Mhm.
exciting. I talked about this in the last episode. Like, we're already talking about the month of May, and it's just crazy. But today we're talking about the astrological forecast for May 8th to May 28th. And I'm sure there's lots of juicy, wonderful, good things. So I'm handing it over to Adrian to just blow our minds
Okay.
with
And
how the
it's
stars are
Tell us about
supporting
the party.
the
yeah,
parties, the
the
dinner
party. Who's at
parties.
the dinner party? Absolutely is coming in. But you know what? This time I'm gonna say, hold on to your wigs, girls. I'm just
Oh
gonna say it.
no.
Hold on to your
I thought
wigs.
that was supposed to be April.
And, like Uranus has just made a big move on April 25th into the sign of Gemini. So you've got two fast moving energies that are just like boom, 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 innovative, fast moving. The way we're getting information coming at us and overwhelm being thrown at us. Da, 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 da. So hold onto the wig. That's all I'm going to say. Um, and I'm not trying to frighten anybody, but things are going to move fast. Things are going to move fast. And we're going to start on the 8th, ninth, depending on where you're 8th, ninth, 10th in that window. The sun is going to go into a sextile with Jupiter. Jupiter is about expansion and the sun is expansive. So this really is a really good opportunity. It's some call it a golden window of opportunity. The Astro Twins call it a golden opportunity, a golden window of opportunity to feel like things are more possible. So you're feeling like it's more possible and you're actually seeing it with clarity that things are more possible, the things that can become more possible. Opportunities are going to show up. Some are going to be subtle, some are going to be like not so subtle, but if you're aware and present in where you are, you're going to be, they're not going to fly right by you. You're going to say, oh, this is an opportunity. Now you have discernment. Do you take or do you not take? And then you have to go back and look, is this in alignment with the things that I've been building back in April, back in March? So that's another part that you have to bring into this whole scenario. And what makes it so super wonderful is that the cosmos, they kind of give you a little shove. But once Uranus comes into Gemini, Uranus is like, listen, I'm a professor. Here, go. And we're no longer just going, oh, okay, okay, okay. Here I am moving you. You are now here. So things that are no longer serving, things, old agreements, old conversations that you've been having with yourself, old things that you've been telling yourself, old ways of looking at things, like perspective really starts to come in here because that Gemini is looking at both sides of things. Okay. So that sextile is saying, like, pay attention, stay present for the opportunities, just like bullet points, stay present for the opportunities. Don't overlook for them. Don't over, oh, that piece of information, is that going to be the information that I need? There is going to be so much coming at you for the next 7 years. This is 7 years of this information coming really, really quickly. We think AI, the AI, it's everything is going to be coming faster.
Mm.
So that sextile between the two is beautiful. The sun, Jupiter, wonderful golden opportunity. It's a window. It's a beautiful window. And then a couple of days later, Mercury actually goes into a sextile with Jupiter as well. So I currently am watching Jupiter because it's my year for Jupiter. But when it's coming in, there's some big realizations that are happening. And are you being honest with yourself? Because that's going to come along a little bit later on in the month. But are you being honest with yourself with what makes you happy, with what brings you joy, with what makes you feel empowered, with what you like to do? These types of conversations are going to shift your perspective. Doesn't mean that what you were thinking before is wrong. Doesn't mean that what you're currently shifting in is correct. Maybe it's look at the middle of these. Are they on polar opposites? Where can you meet in the middle and still find some joy, still find some happiness, some purpose that's going to make you feel that this is now worth it. This is now going forward. Okay. Um, it's going to be a time where things start to land for you mentally. this whole season, things are going to start landing for you. I'm going to suggest that you get a whiteboard or that you get a journal that's just for you to write your notes in. It doesn't have to be pretty. Just write down. Put your notes down. Don't necessarily make movement on them just yet. Write them down. Okay. On the 16th, we have the new moon in Taurus. Now, this is a supermoon. So let me explain a supermoon. It's when the moon is closest to the earth. It could be a full moon, it can be a new moon. And I think it's going to be like a total of 3 new moons that are going to be super moons, and then 2 full moons that are going to be super moons just this year alone. So that's 5. And just this year alone. 5, Melinda, what's 5 all about? Change, right?
Change.
Okay. So this new moon on the 16th, I want you to start thinking about it this way. If you can just take a moment, take a step back. Yes, it's a new moon. It's a super new moon. So it's going to be very dark. It's going to be extremely dark. During a super full moon, it's extremely light. But during a super new moon, I can't believe I got that right. Woo! It's going to be dark. It's perfect to look at the stars, kind of a thing. I hope to get my telescope out there and not be eaten by the mosquitoes or whatever else. But think about when we go deep down into the earth, the deeper we go, isn't it the soil more nutrient rich? So here we're going to go into this deep soil, this darkness of the soil, a deeper, darker soil, and plant this seed, this new moon seed in Taurus. It's going to be more stable. It's going to be nutrient rich. It's going to be nutritious. What do we value? What are we in alignment with? Is it in alignment with what we value? Is it in alignment, about finances? Taurus about finances, alignment of finances, values, alignment of our values. What do we care about? What do we want to be sustainable? Alignment with that sustainability, legacy stuff, alignment with the legacy stuff, the legacy themes that we've been putting into and building into since the beginning of this year. Like I said, it's going to be fast paced. It's going to be fast paced. And Mercury on the 16th is now going to come into Gemini. So it was in Aries, lighting the fires, telling everybody we're going, here's your flame. And now it's in its home state. And you barely even see it, like a hummingbird. Gone. And like it's just a lot of fast movement. So these time frames stuff's coming at us fast. What are you doing to get to stay in a space where even as the stuff is coming to you fast, the information, and you're not jumping to conclusions, you're kind of just sitting in a space, and maybe you're holding some ground for yourself. Maybe what's your connection with grounding should be a conversation that you have with yourself, because you've and the big wind and things are going so fast, then you kind of have to think about these things. And then Mars, who was in Aries, and fire, action, God of war, he now comes into Taurus. And again, he's starting, and Taurus is like, hold on, let me hold your ear for a minute. We have these goals. Are these goals in alignment with us? Because we've got that Taurian energy coming through. Are they aligned with what we said we were going to do? Are they aligned with what we said we were going to do and who we said we were going to be? Because yes, I feel this goal. I feel like it's going to really be good for us. It's going to be sustainable. It's going to be something we can do throughout the legacy, handed down legacy. But you're going to get a little bit frustrated because I don't want to move as fast, because I just want to make sure that the things that we're stepping on are not cardboard boxes that are going to just disintegrate once it starts to rain, because the raining season's coming. So they're having this conversation, and Aries is just taking a moment to go, all right. So the words here are, yes, things are coming in quick, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that quick energy. Because remember, our goal is to actually build something that's going to be sustainable, going to be lucrative, going to be something that we're going to be able to put our hat on at the end of the night and go, this is going to continue for me. This is going to be nutritious. This is going to be vitality. Okay. Whew. And then, there's more caution here. You start going fast, you're going around a curve. They tell you to slow down a little bit, right? Because you're going around a curve. Can't necessarily see what's on the other side of the curve. So on the 19th and 20th, we got that caution coming through again. The caution, because it's also in Gemini. Gemini is about communication. Okay. The way we're communicating, the way we're taking in communications. Watch what tones, watch how we're speaking to self, to others. Watch how others are speaking to you. Or do you appreciate it? And if you don't appreciate it, I don't appreciate you speaking to me in that tone. Or, you know what? Can we take 5 minutes? Because the way you're speaking to me is sitting with me a specific way. So let me just make sure it's not my garbage that's coming to the street. And is it your garbage? Because I want to be honest and truthful with the information that I'm giving to you because I'm slick. No, because you want to make sure that you're not going to accuse anybody of speaking to you a specific way, even though you felt it a specific way. But yes, say something. Check your side of the street first. Make sure it's not something that triggered you because of what happened with Jim, Bob, Joe, and Melissa in the background before, and that it is really what you saw. Okay. Um, because Saturn also comes into this conversation. So we've got Mercury, sextile Saturn, trine Pluto. This is the 19th to the 20th. Pluto transformation, Saturn lessons learned, Mercury communication, transportation, the shuns, TIONS action. Okay. We also have Venus and Cancer during this time. So our emotions are a little bit more sensitive. That's why I said check your side of the street first. And then the sun is coming into Gemini. Is there a different perspective to what you experienced, that you felt a certain way, that somebody said something to you? Is your perspective correct? Is it not correct? Do you want to meet somewhere in the middle? And also, like what you're saying to others, what you're saying to yourself, really, really huge right here. Like self-talk. I can't even, me, empowerment coach, can't even stop it half the time. It just comes out of my mouth. And it's like, did you just speak to yourself like that? Like, wow. Be gentle with your words to yourself. We're at the beginnings. We're still at the beginnings. We just planted these lovely seeds and this rich volcanic. It's got to be volcanic because volcanoes come really deep down. So, volcanic rich soil. Be kind with yourself. Your flower may not come out the color that you want. It may have like 5 stems or 5 different heads, and you just really wanted one big sunflower head and it's got 5. And you're like, what the heck? Whatever it is, stay in connection to why you're building it. Stay into connection to Taurus energy. How could I do it a little bit differently? See it a little bit differently. Feel it a little bit differently. Bringing in that Cancer, bringing in that Taurus, and bringing in that Gemini. Um, and then on the 20th, the sun goes into Gemini, so he's going to want to speed up again, but just kind of take note of what we're coming out of. We're coming out of that Taurus sun time. So like stay connected to what you built. Just bottom bullet points, boom, boom, boom. Stay connected to what you built. And maybe that sun being in Gemini is going to give you a different perspective about what you built. Okay. Just don't take off running. This is the time to bring out that notepad and write down things, because things are going to start going, oh, I've got an idea about this. I've got an idea about that. I've got an idea. Write them down. Write them down. Okay. Um, Venus kind of squares Neptune on this day as well. So I get the sense that our desires, our wants, being in square with our dreams, it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Like, how can they even be in square? Aren't they the same thing? Well, sometimes Venus can go overboard with the things that she attracts. Okay, because she's going to say, I want this. And her pelvic bowl is not squished. It's going to be wide open to receive it all. So we've been looking at, and Mercury's been talking to Venus, and Uranus has been talking to Venus about what we want, and let's make sure we call in what you want. And but Venus might go overboard, because she's like, oh, I'm just coming out of Taurus season, and I was at home, and I wanted it all. And like, well, do we? Like, hold on, like, do we? Like, what if we meet in the middle? Our dreams, our desires, our wants. We meet in the middle, and we have joy and enjoyment and living in it instead of trying to absorb it all and grab it all and just taking all this into our pelvic bowl, because then you're going to have quintuplets or whatever else is going on. And then later on in the month, like on the 22nd, and I was like, do I talk about this? Do I not talk about this? But I'm going to talk about this because Pluto is going out of bounds. And I believe Pluto and Venus is going to be going out of bounds very shortly. And when they're out of bounds, that means like things are up for grabs. Like Mercury does not have to, it's not contained at this point in time. It like I can reach for whatever I want to reach for. So we've got that golden window that was opened a couple of days ago. And now the 22nd through the 26th, we got Mercury out of bounds, which again is opening a window of opportunity, opening a window of transportation, communication, socialization, interactions, relations, wide open. Discernment. We're coming out of Taurus. Please don't forget about Taurus. Love tethers me so often. So we've got these sudden changes that are going on. We've got these wonderful breakthroughs that are coming on, breakthroughs and breaking patterns. Uranus is going to break some patterns. Get ready. 7 years. 7 years of breaking patterns. Might be some power struggles. Well, I want to hold on to that. That's part of my identity. Is it really? Well, it's been making me feel so good all this time. Has it really? You're going to be asking yourself some serious questions because the 25th and 28th, Venus is going to be squared that Neptune and still active, going, okay, so it's not only square Neptune, it's also going to be square Saturn. So it's like really quickly in a time frame where it's causing these squares. And Saturn is saying, what lessons have we learned? What have we learned about ourselves? That's the grandmother energy. Sweetie, I know, baby doll, but was it worth it? Is it something you really want to hold on to? That's not my grandmother voice, but anyway, that's the kind of things that are going to be asked. And you're being asked to be honest with yourself. Like, how uncomfortable is that sometimes? Stay grounded. The wind's coming. It can carry you away like a leaf. And slap up against the window like a leaf. But my suggestions, get the journal. It doesn't have to be pretty. It could be any pieces of paper, but make it just for your ideas that you write down. Find something that keeps you grounded. That's air, air. Air is coming through to shake. We're getting shaken and the air is coming through. And stay present. Like really look at where you are, how you're feeling about where you are. And it's going to bring that enjoyment, that whole empowerment. It's just going to cycle into something new because we're getting ready for another full moon at the end of this month. So we've got 2 full moons. It's a sandwich, girls.
Ooh-ee.
Yeah.
What a ride.
That tree is going to be shook by the wind. Sounds
Yeah,
like
there's
Shook
gonna
it
be.
over here.
leaves are flying around, smashing into windshields.
I will say, all of this seemed to relate perfectly to our last episode about presence. So if you haven't listened to that,
Yeah.
maybe go back and listen to it because we talked about a lot of helpful things that might help you in this time of kind of like, I almost want to say like positive turbulence.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I said a lot, but to summarize everything, like in the beginning, there's going to be a period of feeling very, very supportive, and there's going to be a lot of clarity and opportunity. But then, mid-month, which is kind of like we've got to reset with Taurus, like, okay, I know, but like, hold on, let's reset. Let's make sure. Then you've got that new moon to plant that resetted seed. Yeah, that's what I'm going with, the resetted seed. And then things are going to move quickly again, like more movement and just it's going to work. Things are going to work out. Things are going to work out. However they're supposed to work out, they are going to work out.
I always love sinking back into that kind of affirmation. But I think how cool that we're about to step into a time where, like, as long as we're paying attention, like, so much is going to be coming to us, and we can decide what sticks and what stays with us and what's beneficial. And like, that just seems really exciting. What's going to come through? But I also really like how you were mentioning there will also be time for letting go and breaking patterns and breaking kind of things the way that you see them currently. I think kind of just reflecting back on the year, we came out of like the winter months and into Aries season. Like we had all these new ideas kind of January, February, and then moved into Aries to kind of like kick it into gear and be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do it. And then we got into Taurus thinking like, okay, now we're starting to plant seeds and we're starting to kind of give some type of grounding foundation to whatever this was. And then now it kind of feels like we're giving an opportunity to kind of look at our initial idea or how we thought something should go or be and be like, okay, maybe I wasn't 100% correct. Maybe I do need a shift. Maybe there are some new perspectives I'm not seeing or new information that I'm getting. I think there could definitely be a tendency to just be like grabbing tight, like, no, 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 that's not what I thought. That's not what I thought it was going to be. And just let it kind of shift and let, what you're being supported with coming into your awareness actually help you make whatever you're trying to do in whatever realm of your life just that much better. It's exciting.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that you mentioned a sunflower at some point. And Sasha and I are planting sunflowers, literally.
Oh,
And he's also planting corn.
wow.
And our garden is about the size of a postage stamp. So we are going to have sunflower and corn growing out of a tiny, tiny little square. And it feels appropriate for this time. And we will accept whatever form they come in. Maybe many different little sunflowers, or maybe one big one. We don't know. But it sounds like that's what I'm holding, as that's what we're valuing right now. I think that message around, we really can weather fast moving times when we really are clear and rooted in what we value. And we're really being very discerning even about what we are wanting to attract. As you talked about Venus, I thought about also that the image came of a egg, like the female egg, and then you said quintuplets, and I was like, oh, there it is, like almost Venus as egg, and then a bunch of like all the sperm coming. That's like her, she is, but we don't want all of them, that's a lot
selective in our sperm.
Let's be selective.
It's good to
anyway,
selective.
Wonderful assessment, wonderful information about what's coming. Thank you.
Yeah. So
yeah, I would definitely I definitely plan to have some serious meditations with the Taurian energy, because I want that strategy. I want that mythological, methodical strategy that's going to be put in place, and I want to do it as few times as I have to. I know I started out of the way. Like, I know it works this way, and that's the way I'm going to continue to do it. And when it needs time to be switched, then I'll switch it over. But I want that steady foundation, that firm foundation.
Yeah. So important. And I think too, the more you are, being mindful about where you are and how you feel and how you're thinking, like you were saying, like even being cautious with how you're speaking to yourself and like knowing that you're creating your inner and outer worlds just by your thoughts and speech. It's like, yeah, when things get fast and everything's being kind of like flying by and new information, all the stuff, the importance of just knowing your center and then being cautious with how you're communicating and then also just recognizing that everybody's going to be feeling it too. So knowing that things might get a little feisty, they might get, or maybe even just super social people are going to want to be getting together and it's just going to be a lot of that energy of just experiencing and communicating and talking and learning and information and all the things. Definitely take time to make sure that you're in your body and your mind and all of it. But it seems like a very exciting few weeks.
It does, and it's just coming up to me that, be aware of what you're absorbing too. Be aware of where you're going for your information and what is calling to your attention. And is it in alignment with what you say?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, like when you were mentioning, Rosalind, about, that self-talk, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, they're doing it so much better on social media, this and that and this and that. And it's like, but are they?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But are they? Are they really? Like, I know what it looks like on the screen. Everything looks perfect and this and that, and their hair is this and that. But just don't let what you see out there cause you to doubt and criticize and judge what you're doing in here, because
Mm-hmm.
you've taken the time to build. You know what you're looking for, and you know, be your own cheerleader.
And if it feels like information overload, like remove the stimulus. Like
Absolutely.
like if you do find yourself in that like comparison and judgment and um all of that, like help yourself out. You know what's going to make you feel better. So don't get too lost in the sauce for sure. Well, we hope you're doing wonderful. And as always, we are so grateful that you listened in. Let us know what information feels like it's brimming to the surface for you. Let us know just kind of what you're building and excited for as we're like continuing to move through spring. And yeah, we'll be back in a few weeks and we'll just see you very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.